can't feel it.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it
Ah,
down.
ok. Es como el primer boss. Ah. No. Vamos, se puede. Bien. Easy.
William, please, stop. William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
We knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must
No.
return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by scowl?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you... like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
Mira. La mujer también era vampiro. Es vampiro. Mira la mesera.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
Ah, mira.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed this drink.
This man requires medical attention. You'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
Ok, vamos.
This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Ok, entiendo. Solamente la sangre ya está. Pensé que íbamos a examinar el cuerpo o algo. Creo que tendré que haber chusmeado un poco más alrededor a ver si había algo. Algunos chalines. Bueno, ya está.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... what manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... who is she?
What woman?
No, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
And for that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Bueno, muchas opciones no hay, así que es la mejor que puedo. Sería una tontería no aceptarlo.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy,
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Bueno, está bien, cálmate. Mira esa pinta. Qué buena pinta que tiene.
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seeds of life.
What? ¿Y esto? Tengo que ir hacia allá.
It's okay, Jonathan. I'll see you later.
Acá, ¿no?
I cannot enter.
Este no. No me esperabas esto.
Oh, come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse.
Sea un poquito más educado.
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
La calidad de la sangre. Indica cuánta experiencia recibes de un llano. Cuanto más alta sea la calidad de la sangre, más experiencia obtendrás. Para poder beberte la sangre de tu presa, tendrás que cautivar primero para apartarla de miradas indiscretas. Que tendrás que cautivar. Tu nivel de cautivar debe ser igual o mayor que la resistencia del cebano.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Camino rojo. Ah, para allá. Hay tanto rojo que ya me confundo. Acá. Liberar o sentenciar. Pulsa para sentenciar a Clyde Cross o barra para liberar. Clyde te proporciona un impulso masivo de experiencia, pero tendrá consecuencias. Obtener información sobre los ciudadanos y descubrir pistas que aumentará la cantidad de experiencia obtenida. Ok. Sentenciar a Clyde te proporciona un impulso masivo de experiencia, pero tendrá consecuencias. Barra espacio para liberar. Obtener información sobre los ciudadanos y descubrir pistas que incrementará la cantidad. ¿Lo sentencia o lo libera? ¿Lo sentencia o lo libera? Se va la música. Lo sentencia.
In the back, you bastard! Didn't have the guts to fart me. Fuck you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
El deseo superar las consecuencias de tu decisión. Bueno, un poco de consecuencias no viene mal.
To taste a life, to embrace its most intimate secrets. Such a burden, such a divine sin.
Ahora es rojo. Acá está todo tranquilo. Mapa. No. Bueno, el hospital está ahí. Ah, acá ya están todos los muertos. Frasco de vidrio. Cargando. Tiene una pequeña animación, supongo. Está muy interesante, la verdad. Me gusta.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Vamos a ver, subí en Londres. Ah, tengo que encontrar pistas. Bueno.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
Es igual en todas partes.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
Bueno, vamos a ver el equipo.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Positivos.
Tell me more about cherished people then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
¿Qué de la gestión?
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
Ok. A ver qué más hay. Esto ya está. Bueno, preguntas personales. No, nada más. No, parece que nada más. Para más información. 1500 de experiencia. Sano. Calidad de sangre 6000. O sea, puedo cosechar al Dr. Swan. Calidad de la sangre casi nula. Sentenciado. Clellicot's 30 años, varón, un despojo sin ninguna consideración por otros seres humanos, exceptuando quizá a su esposa, Edwina. Fue el líder de los Wetwood Boys, una poderosa banda de los anárquicos muelles de East End. Las redes impuestas por la banda solo estaban pensadas para los forasteros, y el propio señor Coates concibió gran parte del mercado negro que impera ahora en el barrio, tan duro como egoísta. El señor Coates parecía considerar a todos los humanos como presas, enemigos o herramientas. Consideraba a Edwina como su homóloga femenina. Fue la única mujer a la que respetó jamás, quizá debido a que fue la única que se atrevió a hacerle frente. Sin embargo, esta no apareció en sus últimos pensamientos, puesto que el señor Coates estaba demasiado ocupado maldiciendo a todo el mundo mientras lo asesinaba. 500 puntos nada más. Estado de salud sano, saneado. Creo que nada más. Luego preguntas personales, nada más. Adiós.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
Supongo que voy a seguir hablando con el hombre.
Dr. Swansea asked me to collect you, Dr. Reed. Hurry up.
Espera un poco. Vas a llevarlo. Ah. ¿Ves? Acá hay algo. Bueno, pero yo sí. Ah, más o menos.
I not want to make wait, Doctor.
Sí,
Doctor,
sí.
where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I apologize, nurse. I needed some time to myself. This has been the longest and strangest night of my life.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
Bueno, un par de preguntas.
I would like to ask a few questions first.
Bueno, primero que nada, ¿cómo está el señor Hampton?
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Bien. ¿Quién es el doctor
What
Swansea?
kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Dura es. Él me conoce más de que yo lo
It's
conozco.
right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Wow.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
Es dura la mujer.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Bueno, gracias.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
$1400. Creo que tengo un montón de puntos. El despacho supongo una especie de guardia. A ver.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
No, al final no.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
Nada más. Pensé que era otro doctor, pero...
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Ok, de todo. Está cerrado. A ver acá.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Soy en Londres.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Okay.
How did you end up in William Bishop?
I had received...
A ver.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Ah. Ya llevo las noticias.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Okay.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People
Desesperación.
are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Corrupción.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Creo que mucho más. No. Preguntas personales. Oh.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. Then I could go back to the people who need me.
Creo que mucho más. No, sí. ya está.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Bueno. Lo dejamos por ahí. Bye.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head.